Hello, everyone. Thank you, Shannon, for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and thoughts on autism. I'm Eli Gerschlowitz, and my older brother David has autism. I decided to study medicine as I want to specialize in the autism field. Autism is a relatively new disorder, and not many doctors are involved in research and treatment. Growing up with my brothers, I feel that I have a unique and deep understanding of autism, which will help me create a significant impact in the field and really improve the lives of many other families. Growing up with David as my older brother, I always used to say that when we go out with him to the shops, it would be like walking next to a ticking time bomb. I can remember when going to the shopping center, we would shop as usual, and David's anxiety would build. Every time that we would go shopping, it would feel like walking next to a ticking time bomb. And when the time ran out, it would set off the bomb, and this was never a pretty sight. To see David shriek and scream and hit himself, all I wanted to do was to hide behind my mom and hope that nobody that knew me could see me. Now that I'm older, and I realized that as much as I used to hide behind my mom had nobody to hide behind, and she had to deal with the stares and burning glares and utter disbelief that we've had from other people looking at David have a meltdown or tantrum in the shops. It has really always angered me how people didn't have the decency to look away and save us from the embarrassment. But unfortunately, society can be insensitive and cruel. Honestly, being David's brother is harder than people would ever imagine. I'm constantly surprised and disappointed by the lack of understanding and the skewed perception of what autism really is. The media portrays individuals with autism to have exceptional skills and capabilities. Shows like The Good Doctor create an incorrect perception that most autistic individuals have exceptional capabilities, when in fact, this is definitely not the case. TV shows tend to couple savant syndrome with autism, which misrepresents the true depiction of autism. These misconceptions of autism is preventing medical research that is very much needed to come up with treatments in order to alleviate the symptoms of autism. In my opinion, the root cause of the problem lies with the very definition of autism in the DSM-5. The time has come for autism to be redefined. The DSM-5 has lumped severe autism and Asperger's together. This has resulted in healthcare professionals not being able to get a proper understanding of a population that varies so greatly in its presentation. Without a clear distinction of various parts of the spectrum, we are comparing apples and oranges. It has become more urgent than ever to call for a split of the spectrum. Children with autism don't choose to be non-speaking. There are physical, medical underlying causes preventing them from expressing themselves. I read many books about autism to educate myself on treatment and to gain further understandings about the intricacies of this disease. My favorite book is by Dr. Brian Japson, who is the author of Changing the Course of Autism. He explains the medical complexities of autism when he says that autism is merely one symptom of an underlying disease process that affects the immunological system, the gastrointestinal system, the toxicological system, as well as the neurological system. This definition of autism is applicable no matter where on the spectrum an individual has been classified. Based on current research, we can now see that autism is not a psychiatric condition requiring psychiatric medication. Autism is a very debilitating illness. 40% of children with autism are nonverbal. Why would any parent sit back and accept this? Autism is an epigenetic disorder that is developed due to the expression of vulnerable genetics triggered by environmental factors such as toxins, food, infection, and so on. If David could communicate beyond basic needs and those things he loves the most, I believe that he'd tell us that for him, autism is not a superpower. I feel his anxiety and frustration when he can't make himself understood. I see how he picks his skin until he bleeds as a result of his uncertainty about what's happening next. I sense the fear and confusion in his eyes when he's about to have a seizure and can't tell us. I'm aware of and appreciate the things that I can do easily and David is unable to do. He's taught me to be responsible and not take anything for granted. I still hold on to the hope that David will continue to recover from autism. I always used to listen in on to my parents who are consulting top professionals in the autism field to find a way to repair the damage that autism has done. They never stop looking for new treatments to solve his autism, even though David is 20 years old. This definitely prompted me to study medicine. When I was younger, David's seizures were always a shock. It felt like when you walk into a room and someone is hiding behind the door shouts, "Boo." I remember an incident at my grandma's house where I actually thought that he died from the seizure. This encouraged me to take a first aid course, and also this sparked my interest in medicine. Being in a situation where I felt helpless encouraged me to equip myself with the necessary skills to manage David's seizures, and this eventually led me on to joining an ambulance cadet program. When I was in high school, friends and other students would joke about autism or pass comments on autism that really upset me. They never understood severe autism, which upset me deeply, and it felt as if the challenges that my family and I had experienced were invalidated. To all the siblings out there, just know that you're not alone and that there are many other siblings just like you. Don't ever give up hope, because there are many ways to help autistic children lead better lives. Try to help your parents in any small way you can. They are having a hard time dealing with autism. My way of dealing with autism was to do well at school. I didn't want my parents to endure any more suffering. The behavior of your sibling is not always in their control. Remember this in moments when you are faced with their challenges. My message to all siblings is to get involved, read books on autism, learn about the treatments, and advocate for there to be more medical research to understand and treat autism. Thank you everyone for your time.